Rightio, it's Sunday. We're about to head out for a 20-minute easy jog just to shake things out. Got the Weight Rebellion Pro lows on foot. Gonna give them a go. Got the gloves, got the jumper on. This will probably be the first time that I wear a jumper for the entire run, so it's gonna be cold. Already at work, Stu. We just missed the commute.
It's only the first nap.
Over that way?
He's going to run 220.
I'm not first song.
I haven't seen a whole lot of runners though as well. Like, I think I've seen like 3 people recreationally running.
Yeah.
The other side, yesterday we were doing jogs, like I think that were mainly chicks.
Yeah.
And that day we got going full like kit, so like new team.
I saw one guy yesterday morning running.
Okay, first impressions of the Pro Low. This is a pretty exciting super shoe. I really enjoy the new geometry. The fact that you have a little bit more of a focus on the forefoot definitely seems to feel a little bit more intuitive, I guess, on the run. We only did an easy jog, a little bit of a stride at the end, but it just felt gently propulsive, fairly smooth, efficient, which I think is going to be quite nice. It's also more stable, higher surface area underfoot, a little bit less unstable. So I think this is the kind of shoe that more people are probably going to gravitate towards over the Pro 3, which is just, quite tall, quite radical. This is going to be coming in July. I think a lot of people are going to like it. Pretty much the same in terms of the upper, the outsole, the foam itself is the same and it feels like the same tuning. The only thing that's different is the geometry of the shoe. A little bit less of a lump underneath the midfoot. So yeah, it felt like it worked my calves a little bit more, but it also felt like I was more in control, a little bit more nimble and grounded. So this would be the kind of shoe that I would use for a 5-10 half, whereas I'd probably lean to this still for the marathon, just in terms of protection underfoot. So yeah, gonna chuck some more Ks into these once we get home and we get recovered. This is gonna be a pretty early scoop as it releases in July. So yeah, keep an eye out for that. Okay, welcome to day 3 of the Mizuno ONIHAYAI tour. Got another busy one today. We're going to be heading to the Marathon Expo and grabbing our race bibs and checking out the Mizuno booth. Hopefully some others as well. Should be a very busy event considering there's 36,000 people running or somewhere around that. And I think it's also an anniversary year, so yeah, it's going to be buzzing. Then we're going to go to the Mizuno Design Lab, the Mizuno engine, and have a look through some shoes there, which is going to be unreal. We're going to have a look at their R&D presentation, some marketing, and then also get a try on some new shoes on the way. The Wave Rider 29, Wave Sky 9, Vista 2, and that should be, very cool to see. And then, dinner, getting ready for the race tomorrow. Went for a 20-minute jog just then and actually felt really good. Legs are coming fresh at exactly the right time, which is very confidence inspiring. I think once we actually get moving, I should be okay. I wore a jumper and some gloves, and I was actually sweating, so that is good to see. I think the main thing will just be staying warm on the start line, not letting the body temperature fall too low to the point where you can't get it back up. But I think, if we can stay warm on the start line, get moving, I think I should be okay. I think I'm still going to be leaning towards the singlet, just with the arm sleeves and the gloves. I think we should be okay. Gonna go grab some breakfast now, and then we'll head to the Mizuno booth at the expo pretty soon.
He's probably runs 3 marathons like this week.
She might actually be placing this shit.
Osaka Marathon Expo 2025へようこそ。
I think this would be all that would participate in the Perth Marathon.
Still very much minority with the blonde hair. Should get a special start just for that.
You have got a special start back in Rope G.
Oh, it's all good.
Back
And, thank you.
Awesome. Yep. Massive, eh?
They might have arm sleeves.
They got arms. If they got sick ones, I'll grab them.
You got all your gear and vehicles?
Yep, got all that.
Is there much of a lineup or is it pretty?
No, it's pretty fast for the internationals. Pretty efficient overall, really. Like considering there was like 200 people out there. I think I've accepted about 20 pamphlets, all which I can't read, but yeah, we've got a big stack now, which is cool. silly expensive even in another country.
System?
There is no system to this.
No idea. Blind luck if you can. I'm 5'3".
5'3".
Genuinely one of the busiest places I've ever been in. Heaps of insoles, heaps of gels as well, ready for the race. But also just some random stuff like phones and health insurance and stuff like that. But I guess if you're going to be in front of 36,000 people who are all grabbing their bib, it kind of makes sense. So yeah, pretty interesting. Oh, hello.
Oh, this is living.
I think it's flames.
It's heat. Hey, you're not cold.
No, it doesn't hurt.
Why are you cold?
I'm not cold, I'm just going out to warm up, mate.
Not given anything.
Yeah, they're going to have 7 vegetarian meals left over. Someone will be fine.
It's going early. It's going early.
Oi. Like Australians.
When we look at these two shoes, Rider has 21% more cushion and the Sky 20% more cushion. And stack height will be changed. So Rider has 2 mm more stack on the fork. That means it changes from 20 mm drop from the 10 mm drop. And Sky 6 mm more stack height on the fork and 4 mm more on the heel side. More volume is a bigger volume with a readiness material is a new Sky.
Well, the thing is, like you said, the Vista, the normal Vista, the first Vista.
Vista 2 feels bouncier, lighter, smoother underfoot. I think it's got TPU, hey?
Yeah, the top is the TPU nitrogen, yeah, and bottom is just standard energy next.
Yeah, okay, so nitro or not?
Nitro on the top, not on the bottom.
Yeah,
that's it. Yeah.
So that feels great.
That's why it gives you that.
Well, that's the winning combo at the moment. Is the top super, bottom more stable, smooth. That feels like a hop off. That feels great. I think this is going to be a real winner next year. I think it's going to have a bit more versatility. Felt like the old Vista just had a bit too much squish for me, but this kind of feels like it's really returning it. Just gives you a bit more guts underfoot. Wave Rider 29 doesn't feel radically exciting, like it's definitely not as bouncy or soft as the Vista or the Zen, but it does feel much smoother, a bit more give to the foam, like it actually feels like competitive daily trainer now. Like I think the old Wave Rider was just a bit too firm up front and you could really notice the wave plate, but here it's a bit more smooth, a bit more well put together. I'm actually excited by Wave Rider, didn't think I'd be saying that. Okay, Wave Sky 9 might be my favourite of the bunch. It's firmer than a lot of people will probably expect, looking at it. It's like, yeah, it's quite a big chunky midsole, but they've definitely kept the density of the foam up. I feel like this feels like a bit like a Super Blast competitor really, in terms of the wide base underfoot, big stack, foam's soft but not mushy. I really feel like I could roll long, easy runs, daily runs, my longer runs. Doesn't have a heap of pace, but that does feel, actually maybe a bit of pace. It does feel very, very good. I reckon this is going to be my most anticipated from the 3 shoes that we're trying on here. We chat a lot about other shoes which I can't talk about, which also look very, very exciting. But yeah, of these 3 which are coming very soon, I think Wave Sky 9 is probably going to be the one that I'm looking forward to the most. All 3 looked very, very good. Huge updates for Mizuno. Definitely moving in the right direction.
Hey guys, we're here at Mizuno Engine with Shunsuke, the lead project manager on running footwear at Mizuno.
Yes.
Yep. When you start designing a shoe, where does the idea come from?
Yeah, so I don't design the shoe. I'm the manager of the product planning team and design team.
Yep.
I'm working this job for the 6 years now, and inspiration is always coming from the athlete and the runner. We always go to the place of the runner and get their voice. That's a big inspiration for us every time.
So the design comes from the athlete initially and what they want, and you give them what they want.
Actually, yes.
Yep. When the team is designing, how many prototypes will you take to athletes to try?
So many prototypes we bring. So now we are in innovation center, so we can make product very quickly. So many prototypes we make and check the feedback from the athlete. Acceleration of this circulation makes a very good product, we believe. So we make tons of prototypes.
So from that idea, how quickly can you turn around a shoe?
Yeah, actually, so for example, if the athlete say this is a little bit unstable, we can make it quickly. Then bring back to them. And they got very good feedback.
So in that day you can turn it around, or a couple of days?
Next week.
In the next week.
Yes,
okay.
Yes.
All right. So you can design very quickly and get new prototypes out, and so the athlete is able to try new things.
Yeah.
I mean, we're speaking about prototypes and all different shoes.
Yeah.
What do you run in yourself though?
It depends on the situation. But for my favorite one is now Neo Vista.
Neo Vista.
Yeah, because I made Neo Vista, and it is good for every type of running. So enjoy and a little bit faster. Every place we can use Neo Vista so much, and Neo Zen as well.
Yep. Neo Vista is a great shoe.
Yes.
It can do a bit of everything.
Yes.
Thank you, Shunsuke, for your time here. As I said, we're at the Mizuno Engine, getting to look at a lot of different products and such that Mizuno is designing and prototyping. Great.
Knowing how big it looks to my eyeballs when you look at the screen, you're like,
Okay, we're just on the stopover at Hong Kong on the way home. I've been editing this day 3 vlog, and I've just realised that a lot of the footage that I had from after the Mizuno Engine, chatting about all the stuff that went on, got deleted. So I'm going to do my best to kind of fill in the blanks before dinner and before just going to bed before race day. So in the end, the engine tour was unreal. It was really, really cool to see all the different processes that go into developing, marketing, and kind of, putting all these shoes together. They have a really refined process which enables them to be able to make prototypes within 5 or 6 days, compressing foams, cutting them, stitching them together, making some really cool prototypes in a really, really fast turnover, which from what I've seen in the running industry seems to be a bit of a big problem, especially if the factory is ages away from where you're designing the shoes or coming up with the concepts. You've got to wait weeks for the prototypes to come through. Miscommunications, mistranslations can be definitely a big, tricky process. So it's pretty cool to see that they've streamlined that to the point where they can get dozens and dozens of prototypes done very, very fast, which I do think is starting to pay off with the designs that we're starting to see come through. Obviously, you chatted a bit about the Wave Sky 9, the Neo Vista 2, Wave Rider 29. They all look really good, including those new nitrogen foams, the nitrogen infused TPU, just getting more exciting. enhancing the stability while giving a pretty smooth running experience. I'm really excited about all of those. We did also get to see some newer stuff which is coming a long way in the distance. Obviously that is completely embargoed. I signed an NDA about it, so I'm not going to push the limits. All I'll say is that Mizuno have got some really cool stuff coming, and I do think by the end of 2026 they're going to have one of the best developed lines out there amongst all the other brands that I have at least a tiny insight into. They've got some really cool stuff on the way, so don't sleep on Mizuno. Obviously, it's probably likely that I would say something like this after an awesome trip, but genuinely I do think that they are a brand to keep an eye on, because they are going to throw some punches over the next couple of months, year or so. It was also pretty cool seeing their kind of marketing awareness, trying to move the brand in a direction where it appeals to kind of the cooler kids in the running, the new kind of recreational run club runners, trying to convey things about like the smooth running experience, that kind of refined Japanese design philosophy, which is I think it is starting to come off with shoes like the Zen, the Vista. This next round of shoes is definitely going to incorporate it more. Simple stripped down uppers, nice foams and geometries, that kind of clean look. I can definitely see where that's coming off, and just in general seeing their marketing strategies using like influencers, athlete marketing with some Kenyan runners and elite athletes, and then the more traditional like social media posts and paid ads and stuff like that. It was pretty cool to have an insight into that and see where their direction is going. I think there is a pretty big switch from what I can tell in terms of the marketing direction, like trying to kind of escape that more traditional kind of not stereotype, but that kind of more traditional vibe that Mizuno often has, like stability shoes, that old reliable daily trainer. I feel like they're trying to kind of merge a bit more of the fun stuff in there, so that it's going to deliver a more refined, smooth running experience. So that was a really fun part of the tour, probably the favorite activity that I got to take part of. Obviously very generous to include me in the retailer tour as an influencer, with the opportunity to spread secrets, all that kind of stuff. So really appreciate the trust from Mizuno and also Running Warehouse to include me on that. Had a great time, really appreciate it. Oh, just shook all of it. Oh well. Okay, we are back at the hotel room after dinner. We popped downstairs to the shop, grabbed some more Pocari Sweat and a few grape lollies for tomorrow morning just to get me started. A bit of extra sugar in the system. And then we had a bit of a surprise as I was leaving dinner actually. We got gifted a pair of the Neo Zen 2, which is fantastic. These aren't releasing until May, I think. So very early scoop there. Very keen on these. As I said, updated top layer of foam to the TPU stuff. Bottom layer is still the Energy foam, but Energy next, so still quite bouncy. It's lighter, it's more responsive, more energetic, a bit more outsole grip as well, a little bit of thicker compound there, more structure in the upper. Pretty much all of the changes that I wanted them to make. So I'm very keen on that. We'll get some miles into them once we get back to Perth and once we recover a bit. But I'm very pleased to get a pair of these in hand. Got a few things to do before we head to bed. Got my race kit set out, but I've got to put on the race bib and the tracker onto the shoe. And then I think I should do a bit of reading just to work out a few etiquette things on course. I don't think you're meant to spit, a few other things like that. So I'll make sure I read up so I don't get in trouble doing something silly. I think in terms of the decision around kit, I will go with the singlet in the end. I feel like with the arm sleeves and with the gloves, I should be plenty warm. I don't think the extra bit of sleeve is going to help me much more. I definitely don't think that I would get away with a double layer. I do still think I'd be sweaty based on the couple of runs that I've done. So it's going to be a bit risky, but I will just go with a singlet and trust that the arm sleeves and the gloves should get me through, as well as picking up the pace for the first 5 or 10Ks. I think I should warm up enough. As I said, 5 gels in the Bix belt on top of the race shorts. I was considering using the long run shorts that I just bought, but I did find that with all of the gels in and running along at pace, I did find that they rode up a little bit, which wouldn't bother me for a long run. But I think on a peak race like this, I just want to run with no distractions. So I'm going to go with the full-on race shorts and just pair it with the separate running belt. So yeah, bit of reading to do, and then we'll head to bed, hopefully before 8:30, get a good night's sleep. Bus leaves at 6:20 tomorrow morning. Okay, so 8 rules for improved etiquette. Maintain good etiquette when using the toilets. You've got to line up. No spitting on the ground. That's going to be a bit of a struggle. No littering. No reckless overtaking. Put your health first. Don't forget water and salt supplements. Dress appropriately for the marathon, so people from Group A aren't allowed to dress up as a banana. And we've all got to learn CPR, which is, yeah, it's not a bad idea. So yeah, no spitting. I wonder how they feel about snot rockets. Rightio, we've got it all set out, ready to go. The gels, shoes, socks, kit. We're going to take a drop bag ready for the finish line. And hopefully we can just ditch our jumpers to some of the Mizuno guys on the start line. Breakfast is at 5:30. Race starts at 9, so we're going to catch the bus across at 6:20. So I think we're going to be standing around for a while. But yeah, everything's done. Training's done. Carb loaded to the max. Now all we've got to do is convert.